your notes for tabs in Microsoft Word. This is your ruler that should be shown at the top of your Word document, and in your ruler you can see where you have tabs set. This right here indicates that I have a left tab set at 3. Over to the very left of the ruler is what's known as the tab selector, and when you click on that it will change to different tabs. First it shows your left tab. If you click on it again, it would show your center tab. Click again, it will show your right tab. Third time it will show you your decimal tab, and then the next one would be a bar tab. Left tab looks like, the symbol for a left tab looks like an L, and your left tab aligns things to the tab. So if I was over here at the very beginning where my margins first begin and I press tab, it will automatically jump to 3 where my left tab is. Here is an example of what it looks like if it's aligned with your left tab. You can see in the ruler we have a left tab, the line goes down. This is an example. It starts at the left tab and then it would move forward to the right. A center tab, this is what it looks like on the tab selector. It looks like an upside down T. This is shown here at the 3 as well, and this means that the text will be centered within the tab. This is not centering in the document, but the text will be centered in the tab. Right here where it says center tab is an example of what a centered tab text looks like. Your right tab looks like a backwards L, and this is what it looks like on the tab selector. When you put it in on the ruler, it looks like this is an example of what you will see. Now your right tab stops your text. If you started typing at your right tab, your text moves to the left. So it's sort of like a wall, and it keeps text from going to the right of your right tab. This is an example of what your right tab looks like. It would start here, and then your text moves to the left. This is a decimal tab represented on our ruler. Decimal tab is the upside down T, looks like it has a dot. What a decimal tab does, it aligns decimals. So you can put numbers in, press tab with your, when you have a decimal tab, and it automatically aligns your decimals for you. A bar tab allows you to separate text. So this is a bar tab here that has separated these two things of text. It looks like a column, but it's not exactly a column, but it does separate them. On the ruler, it looks just like a little black line. These are some more examples of what decimal tab looks like, lining on your decimals, and an example of what your bar tab looks like. First line indent and hanging indent, setting them on the ruler. Your first line indent, you click on the top. Within the margin, you click on your top first line indent button and just drag it over. Remember that each of these larger hashtags here means 0.5. So then that's 0.5, 1, 1.52. So if it tells you to drag it to 1, then you would just drag your first line indent to the 1. Hanging indent, you click on the bottom triangle here, and you click on that and drag it over. The bottom one rectangle here is for a regular, just to indent your text. This would be a left indent, and this would be a right indent right here. But for hanging, you would click on the bottom triangle and drag it over. Reminder that first line indent means that the first line of the paragraph is indented and the rest of the paragraph is not. Hanging indent means that the first line is not indented and the rest of the lines of the paragraph are indented. This is not an accurate picture here. The actual picture should be, again, the triangle here. That's what it should be to do it. Both of these are showing your hanging indent and first line indent. Now if you go to your launch your paragraph dialog box and go down to the bottom, you'll see where it says tabs, and when you click on that, it opens up your tabs dialog box. Now let's talk about the different sections of the dialog box. You have your default tab stops, which means this is what, if I press tab and I don't have a tab set up here on the ruler, it's automatically going to move at 0.5. Okay, just like in the first line indent, that's why it moves at 0.5. Your tab stop positions are where you have other tabs set. So we can see up here on the ruler, We have a left tab set at 1.13. It tells me in alignment that it's left, and I do not have a leader. The one at 3, if we were able to click on it, means that we have a center tab at 3, and it does not have a leader. 5.5, if you look on the ruler at 5.5, we have a right tab. Okay, and then 6, it looks like we have another, either a left one or they tried to do a decimal tab. But be careful here. Remember this area here, the gray, means that it is a negative indent, and that means you're outside of the margins. Down here at the bottom has where your alignment is, whether it's left, center, right, decimal, or bar, and then you have leaders here. Leaders lead your eyes, the reader's eyes, from the text over to a number. If you need to delete one of these, you would select it and then click clear. If you needed to delete all of them or clear all of them, you would do clear all. This is another one just showing you this when they have a tab at 2. You can see up here on the ruler it's at 2. It's a left tab, and it does have dot leaders. We have 3 different types of leaders. You have, the default for it is none, which means no leaders will show up. You have dot leaders, hyphen leaders, or underscore leaders. And the next page, this shows you, these are what hyphen leaders look like here. Okay. This is an underscore leader, and so is this one where it says center. Both of those are underscore leaders. Notice it's just leading your eyes. On this document, tabs must have just been set in order for them to be able to put in their information. These are not dot leaders, these are just regular tabs. This is another example of leaders. These are known as dot leaders. Dot leaders are commonly used in table of contents and in index. It will lead, if you look in front of a lot of textbooks, they have them there. It leads the reader's eyes from the chapter over to the page number. So these are known as dot leaders. For dot leaders, in this case, your alignment, your tab over here would be your right tab. Normally set about at the 5.5, maybe 6 point, depends on where a margin ends. This is another example in an index of dot leaders.